Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It's Drinking Wine at 9 with Mott's. Why? Because it's 9 o'clock and we be drinking. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And it is the holiday season. I have my really good friend Larry Galceron, who works with Summit Wines, back at the table today because these are the perfect holiday party wines for your get-together. So, Larry, welcome back to the table. Happy holidays, and let's go.
Happy holidays, Mats. Thanks for having me again. So yeah, these wines, all great wines to have for all the different holiday parties that are going to be coming up now that we've gotten past Thanksgiving and we're stuffed. Now we're ready to drink some more.
Right.
So we got some fun wines. We got a really nice Franciacorta, which is Champagne Method Wash style, coming out of Italy. We got a sparkling from California, more budget friendly, and then we got a couple reds that are pretty well-rounded, easy to appeal to the masses.
Right. They're great with food. They're great for sharing. But let's start with the.
So we'll start with the Franciacorta. So Caldabasco. One more thing, all of these wines, they all practice sustainable farming, wine practicing, organic. So all about the environment.
Sure.
But going back to Caldabasco, Franciacorta, this is their 46th edition. So they kind of do something similar to Krug Champagne, where it's a non-vintage, but it's still using the current vintage plus some reserve wines, and trying to keep that house style, if you will, so that no matter whether you pop a bottle now or 10 years from now, the style is going to be the same.
Right. I like it because it is dry, it is crisp, it's refreshing. The grapes, not to be confused with Prosecco, and I'll challenge Larry about that in a minute. It's Pinot Bianco. It's a little bit of Chardonnay. It's a little bit of Pinot
Nero,
Yes.
also known as Pinot Noir.
Right. And it's beautiful because it's dry, almost bone dry, and it's so balanced. And being oyster season, which is always oyster season, you could definitely pair this and just come out in spades. All of your friends would love it because it's affordable, it's festive.
Great quality product.
It really is.
Fun to toast for your parties to start it off. It pairs well with pretty much anything.
Yeah, it really does.
You really can't.
I know we often say that, but even with charcuterie, because of the saltiness,
Yeah.
it just adds
The acid in this wine just helps bring it through.
a little bit of quince, a little bit of
Yeah.
lemon, but not as harsh.
But you definitely
it's dialed back.
get some of those brioche, almost like a light nuttiness.
Yeah, a toasted almond or
which is
hazelnut.
from the autolytical process of aging on the lees. This one was 25 months. So after 15 months, you start to pick up some of those notes.
Right.
And they practice usually about a 2-year window just to really kind of balance it out.
I like it. So before I challenge you, we're going to go on to the Sterling Brut.
Okay, so Sterling started in the 60s. Couple partners, Peter and Michael. They were colleagues and loved the California climate, the climate of Greece. Decided they wanted to start a winery in Napa, California. This particular item here, it's a Brut sparkling wine, and because of the way it's made, they can keep the costs down. So they're sourcing fruit from not only their own property in Carneros and other parts of California, but also, they'll buy some fruits so they can have the perfect blend. And they do the Charmat method, which is basically, instead of fermented in bottle, to ferment in a large tank.
Right.
Then they add the CO2 to get the bubbles, which basically is to show the freshness of the fruit.
Sure. And I like this because it's a little off dry, I have to be honest with you, and give credit to the winemaker, the chef de cave. Her name is Lauren Coppett, and she's also a Packers fan, but she's a genius in her own right up there in Calistoga. And if you've ever been to the Sterling Winery, you know that you have to take a gondola up to the winery itself, which is just an added bonus. But Lauren really knows what she's doing. I can tell that it's Chardonnay dominant. I'm going to leave it there and then have you continue before I put you on the spot.
Oh, jeez. So anyway, by doing the bulk char method, they get that fresh fruit, and that's basically meant to be consumed right away. This is not something that you can lay down and
Right.
it'll develop more. It's meant
It's
to
good
be
for
ready
every
to
day.
go,
Yeah.
which is why it's an affordable, but still offering
Absolutely.
a great quality product.
Sure. So people often ask what the difference between Prosecco and Franciacorta are. And I'm going to put you on the
no
spot or
problem.
challenge you to
Okay.
tell our viewers just a few differences.
Sure. So Franciacorta, as well as Trent Doc, which is another sparkling producer in Italy, up in the north, along with Lombardy, where the Franciacorta comes from.
Right.
They typically will use traditional champagne grapes, so Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, but they also will throw in a little Pinot Bianco, which this one has.
Yep.
Prosecco, coming way in the northeast in the Veneto region, is Galera, and it's much more fruity, more aromatic, which is why they also, majority of Prosecco, unless it's DOCG, but if it's DOC, which is the majority, it's bulk char method. It's
Sure.
the same process because they want to show the freshness and the fruit aromas. Where champagne, it's you don't need the ripe fruit. You want more of the acid for the secondary fermentation. And
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And with Prosecco, they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Franciacorta only about 50. And that's quite all right because it, I think, has yet to be discovered. So let's go on to some reds.
all right,
Very
next
good.
up,
Good answer.
Banfi Chianti Classico Reserva. So, in Chianti, coming out of Tuscany, so you're roughly an hour north of Rome. You have 8 subregions that are the Chianti region. The Chianti Classico region, though, is the only one that can say Chianti Classico, and it has specific alcohol levels, specific yields that you can pick, etc. They have a lot of strict rules to follow, but Banfi, known for Brunellos, the Sangiovese grape, which is the lead grape for Chiantis, Brunellos. Beautiful wines.
It is. It's a food wine because
Yes.
it's dry, it's tannic, it's earthy, it's rustic. So you need pasta with garlic. You need something to cut the red sauce. And I think this would pair beautifully with it because
Well, you mentioned charcuterie earlier.
Sure.
So like the meats
Yeah.
and some of the cheeses
Right.
that are on there, this would be perfect.
yeah, Bistecca Fiorentina because you get these dried autumn leaves, this rustic mulberries and huckleberry macerated element, and it just really showcases in this wine. It's beautiful. You can tell by the color. It's just really a fun, easygoing wine.
Yes.
And
Nothing complex.
right, Banfi's been around for hundreds of years. They're good at what they do. Bottom line. Which brings us to one of my favorites is
Pessimist.
Daniel Dow.
Well, as the bottle states on the back, pessimist is a never disappointed person.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, but no. So coming from Dow, pessimist, and they are in Paso Robles, which is actually the new Napa, if you will.
Sure.
It's an area that is up and coming, although they've been making wine for quite a while now. They really are starting to get on the map, and
Yeah.
people are starting to see what's so great about
Take
Paso
note.
Robles, just
I-
north of LA, about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yep, I love it because I've often mentioned this during my videos. Paso Robles is 2 hours south of San Jose, 4 hours south of Napa. Very inland, but very heat driven, as is expressed in this
Yeah.
glass of wine because it's unctuous. It's
Very rich fruits.
lush.
That heat brings the alcohol up. You get more sugar, so you get a higher alcohol level right off the bat just from fermenting, especially if you pick the grapes late. And
But it's
you
still-
can taste it.
Oh yeah, dry and full bodied. You get all your black fruit,
Yes.
your black pepper, your black
Boysenberry,
raspberries.
blackberry.
Sure. And it's just
But you
a glass of velvet.
Yeah.
A glass of velvet wrapped in a silk bow.
And
Because-
very deep and dense in color too.
Yeah, because this
Definitely
would,
an extracted wine, so you get more color, dense.
yeah, teeth staining black. This would
Mm-hmm.
pair beautifully on its own or with a porterhouse or a filet with a special blue cheese topping.
There you
So
go.
these are just a sampling of what Larry brought for perfect holiday wine get together for your parties because they're affordable yet tasty and so diverse. Larry, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, one last
no, I was
comment.
going to just say that,
Okay.
you know, for the viewers that appreciate ratings, all of these have received a 90 plus rating from Spectator, Enthusiast, Barker. Pick one, you're going to find it. And that's just because they are known to make quality wines.
Right. And they're also available at Argonaut.
Mm-hmm.
Already on sale from Miss Sheila. Larry, grab your French Corta. You know my toast.
Yes.
May all of your pains be champagne.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon.